Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and let me begin by acknowledging Italy's work as chair of the OSCE this year and your hospitality in hosting this Ministerial Council meeting. Mr. Chairman, in November we commemorated 100 years since the end of the First World War, pledging to never forget those who died in the trenches. Yet, for 5 years, soldiers and civilians are again dying in Europe as a result of Russia's blatant violation of Ukraine's independence and territorial integrity. Despite our efforts, despite the Minsk agreements, and despite repeating calls for Russia to abide by the principles and commitments enshrined in Helsinki and Paris, no progress has been achieved so far. Even worse, recent illegal elections in the so-called Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics further violate international and Ukrainian law, as well as Minsk agreements. The recent provocation by Russia, which illegally opened fire and seized 3 Ukrainian Navy vessels near the Kerch Strait, is the latest demonstration of the disregard for the rule of law and Ukraine's maritime rights. We call on Russia to abide by international law, to immediately release vessels and crew, and to ensure free access to the Ukrainian ports in the Azov Sea. Mr. Chairman, we condemn the continued illegal annexation of Crimea and Sevastopol. Fighting in the east of Ukraine is progressively affecting peace and security in Europe. Human rights situation in eastern Ukraine and Crimea is deteriorating at an alarming level. A long-term peaceful resolution to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is essential, and this should remain a top priority also for the OSCE. Mr. Chairman, other serious challenges to our commitments for peace and security in Europe are protracted conflicts like Abkhazia and South Ossetia, Transnistria, as well as Nagorno-Karabakh. Frozen conflicts like these should not exist in any society which is civilized and respects international rules. Stronger efforts and political will are desperately needed here to come to peaceful and sustainable solutions. No concept of security can exist without human rights and democracy, rule of law and fundamental freedoms. We will continue supporting the human dimension, and we call on others to do likewise. Effective steps must be taken to improve the safety for journalists in order to ensure a vibrant and free media, which is important for holding governments to account. We must further strengthen OSCE's autonomous institutions and their credibility and independence to help them intensify their valuable efforts. Mr. Chairman, dear colleagues, OSCE provides us with a unique platform for dialogue and cooperation. However, we can use it to its full potential only if we all return to a rules-based security order and respect and uphold our common principles and values. Finally, I would like to wish success to Slovakia as it takes up the OSCE chairmanship next year. Thank you.